Hi guys, Dave and Tex here. What you're looking at is a little Johnson. Well, it's an electric acoustic guitar. Solid body. They play, different strings on it. I think he wants these to have electric strings on it. I think he has 12s he's picked out, or 11s. But he does want to get a new saddle in it, because this one is just in there terrible, right? It's just shaky as can be, and the guy who built it on a lean. It actually leans backwards on this guy. So the trick is to cut one that's of the right exact width, which this one almost is. Okay, it's just barely too wide for this body, and this is all out of unbleached bone. This is what he likes with the color setup, even though he's got bleached bone on top. And this is bone, and he's worked it, but it's worked it kind of funky. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it straight across and just leave it like that, and have him tell me what he wants when it's done, and go from there. I don't want to take any risk on this. I've only got one piece of this right now in the shop. I've actually used all of it on other projects. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this with the fret eraser, get it cleaned up, okay? And then go from there and see what we can come up with. Make sure it comes out clean, and that's not sticky. It's been in there a while. My little bone collection. Now this one I know, yeah, it's not coming clean right. I have to wash it, get some cleaner on it. Anyway, this one I know is in good shape. Okay, it's no cracks, no fissures, no problems like that with this one. It's been tested and eyeballed and all that kind of good stuff, so I know no problem when I start to work it, as been with others. So what I've done, I've gone with some steel wool and cleaner. Got it all cleaned up, pressed up. Now I'm just going to do an outline on it, a rough outline. Do a cut down on it with the saws. I won't do it on his body's guitar though. And go from there. Alrighty. And I always take off the bare end, so I'm right on it. I don't want to travel too far with this. It's the only piece I've got. So I'm going to give it a little bit of slop here on the end, just to be safe. So I'm going to mark it right there. I'll put a shape mark on it exactly as it is, so I'll know where I am. So there we are, okay? That's as much as I got to remove, a lot of it, and cut away, all right? And it won't leave enough for a nut, so that's the end of that. But we'll start working it with saw on the regular vise, well, no, on the nut vise, and the hand saw, so hang in there. Okay, so for the cut, I'm using a number 10 bone saw. You've seen them in my shop before. I use them on all my bone work. And I'm just going to get started as a pull cut saw. And what you do, guys, you just let the blade do the work. You do not force it, okay? That's why you end up with cracks and badly finished parts. Alright, now this saw is not very deep, okay? So you have to angle it some to get the whole job done. I may have to flip this because it's a long and wide piece. Okay, so I just gave a nice little cut, and let's see how it shapes up as width's concerned. Oh, that's perfect. You can see I got just a little bit extra there. I can round that off, but we can't put it tip to tip on this. It just won't work. Like this one's not tip to tip. It's got that, slack in it, back and forth like this. You have to have something you can work with. It can't be so tight you can't get it in and out. That's the major part of it. But this one, its width's too small. It just, you know, flops over, you know. So this one is almost perfect in its width, almost perfect. It's still a little tight. I can't get it down completely in the cavity, and I have to work with that. So hang in there while I just take a little bit off the back side. All right, this saddle fits this guitar now perfectly. I mean, there's not a bit of gap, and it's just tight as can be. Unfortunately, I still have some height problem with it, as well as width. Now, a lot of these saddle cuts are cut crooked, and they're not true plumb. Okay, this one's not. So it's got a little bit of lean to it. All right, you can see it. And now, if I give it a little push over, it'll adjust, be okay. But this cut here is kind of forcing it that way. So I gotta compensate for that with this. Once you put that little curvature on them, right on the ends of them, like this, to fit the saddle cut on the bridge, they'll have some width issues, be slightly, you know, not perfect. You can measure them, there'd be 100 thousandths off. They are. Some a little bit on the bent side. I mean, all kinds of things go on with it because they're bone. You know, they're not made of metal, they're bone. So you have to deal with those flaws, okay? Now, this particular one is as flawless as I could find, and I still need to take off a little bit of its width, all right? It's still just a little too tight inside that slit there, right? And I want to make sure I'm down and touching that piezo in there, that pickup that's in there. And I don't want to cut any more length off of it because then it's not going to fit properly, okay? Like this one was back and forth, and I was like, you don't want that. You don't want it, you know, slanting side to side. So I got to take just a hair's breadth off the width of this thing, which is not easy to do because, you know, it's just such a little tiny measurement to make. All right, so let's give it a shot and hope that we don't go too far. But I'll keep testing it until I finally get it right. Hang in there. All right, that's down in there perfectly now. No issues with that. All right, I just finished doing some side sanding on it, both front and back. So now I've lost my template. Is what I want to copy. Still have bone dust on there. Clean that off. But this thing fits just like a wow. If I can nicely say it, it fits really well. Let's just say that it fits really well. And it's going to take some hand sanding to get that shape down, like this. Now, this guy, he went through and intonated this bone, right? And he did a bad job of it. Okay. And normally when you try to do this by hand, not by machine, you end up with a bad job. So I thought I'm just going to copy the overall profile of this and leave it at that. All right, I'm not going to take it down. I'm just going to copy the profile and have it just like any other guitar's bone nut, just, you know, straight across, no dips, no anything. Because then you do that. If you're not perfectly on, then you got problems. I mean, you got big problems, and that's what I want to try to avoid. Okay, so hang in there. All right, what you see, guys, I've taken it down quite a bit with the belt sander, and I've left a lot of slop on top of it, as well as the length is just a little bit over. But I'm keeping that shape that I originally put on there. See that shape to fit the two ends of the slot. I keep that. But main thing is that when it gets this short, it gets this close to the, you know, to the final cut, I always like to go ahead and do it by hand. Either use a sanding block like you see me use on a vise, you know, just put the sandpaper on a vise, tape it down, and go at it by hand, or I can use a file and file it down and get it the shape that I want. and go from there, basically. You know, basically what I'm doing is taking away material. But first things first, I want to make sure that when I sanded this on the belt sander, nothing took place that could cause a problem. Alright. So now we got it fitting absolutely perfectly. You can see there now. And there's no wiggle, there's no wobble in this thing at all. It's just tight as it can be. Okay, that's a perfectly cut nut. May need something to get it out with. Yep, nope. Okay, so anyway, it fits the slot perfectly to and from. Only thing left to do is shape it. Alright, now like I said before, I'm going to avoid shaping it like this, but this came out badly. He said he couldn't intonate it. But what I'm going to do is just set it up just straight across, just, you know, just let you, you know, adjust each string the way you want. And do it that way. It's the simplest way to do it. You don't end up with any miscues or any mistakes. And something's wrong with these buttons. I mean, you may have these in the wrong spot. These plugs are not fitting properly in this guitar. It's a nice guitar. And I want to see it, you know, and hear it play well. So hang in there, guys. Here I am again working on a saddle for the Johnson guitar. And I'm about to go ahead and start the rough shaping of it with this raspy type file I've got here in my hand. And put it to shape. Okay? But the file shape will be done by hand without a file, and I was using sandpaper and pushing it down on it with that. Okie doke. That's how much it takes off. That's how much I got to go, guys. There's a lot to go on this thing. So hang in there. Alright, now if I zoom in, I think we'll see the ridges that rasp file creates. You see those? And there's depth to these, okay? So I can't go all the way to the line, because when I file them smooth, you'll be below the line, okay? So I got to take another top file very carefully, not snap and crackle this thing, but knock those down too, and see where I am on, you know, in comparison to the line. Now the only thing bad about this is they'll put a cross line in there, but it'll be much thinner once I get those top lines out that the rasp did, those cross lines. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to snap on it, okay? And snappy snap. Don't want that. So I got to use my finger as a guide here. And if I do too many of these in a day or a week, I end up with a really sore thumb. I get these things down to the line, to the finish line. And I'm taking all those score marks off the files left behind. As you can see, I'm very close. Alrighty. And the most work is to be doing on these edges here to round that off so that they're, you know, not sharp. Most of the filing is just about done. There's some finish up sanding to be done to it, make sure these are nice and flat. Hi guys, Dave in Texas here, and what we're looking at is a nice little Johnson. We just finished working on a saddle. What do you think about the work?
Oh, did a great job, man. When I first got this guitar, the saddle on this was loose. I mean, it just flopped around. And I couldn't get anything to fit it, so I found Dave here online, brought it over here.
Cool.
He put a real bone bridge in there, cut it to what it's supposed to be, spec, and it seems to be tonated now and staying in tune. And
gotcha.
This is a Johnson chambered acoustic.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
My name's Tom Hanley. I played, I guess, guitar and keyboards a long time ago. Then I laid it down for about 45 years. And I just started, picked it up here a couple of years ago, trying to get back in it. And now I got a little band here, a friend of mine I played with back in 1970, 69. He's still playing, and he's a drummer.
Cool.
He gave me a call, said, "Hey man," I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh no."
Do you have a name for the band?
Huh?
Do you have a name for the band?
It's called the American Classics Band. They call it ACB. They're out of Granbury. They play in Granbury just about exclusively. They're a bunch of old guys like me, probably.
Okay. If somebody wants to hire you guys, what number or how they get in touch with you?
I got to get a hold of Jordan Welch. He's the guy that books.
Okay.
But he's the drummer. This guy I played with back with a coachman out of Dallas back in his late 60s.
Okay.
And
is there a number we can call him at, or email address or something, or what about they call
I
you?
think it's, well, I'm just now getting in the band, so I don't really know all the specifics. I mean, they just want me to come over and play some and see what we got. I know a lot of the material they do. It's a lot of older stuff.
Okay, cool. Let's hear what your guitar sounds like.
What now?
Let's hear what your guitar sounds like. Go ahead and play some.
I've got it kind of turned down. It's like I said, it's a chamber acoustic.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get an acoustic sound out of it. It's got a little, plays it like an electric, but anyway, we'll do a little America song here.
Cool.
See what happens.
Now new strings.
I'll break it in.
Okay.
Get it on a nice acoustic amplifier. It just don't sound right on the electric.
Okay.
The action seems really nice.
Cool.
I'll just have to play around with it.
Okay, guys. Any questions? Give me a holler. David,
will,
Texas. Bye. Say bye. Say bye.
Bye.